네, 오늘은 부처님 오신 날을 맞아서 아주 특별한 초대 손님을 모셨습니다. 멀리 미국에서 와주셨어요. 미국 노산사 영화선사님 스튜디오에 모셨습니다. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. 반갑습니다. 부처님 오신 날 멀리 미국에서 한국을 방문해 주셨습니다. 먼저 우리 이 선물 프로그램의 시청자 여러분에게 인사 말씀 한마디 해주시죠.
Hello, my name is Master Yung Hua from California, United States. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
감사합니다.
네, 캘리포니아에서 오셨어요. 네, 부처님 오신 날을 맞아서 이렇게 저희로서는 특별한 초대 손님과 함께 하게 돼서 아주 영광스럽게 생각을 하고요. 그런데 나라마다 부처님 오신 날의 풍경이 조금씩 다르더라고요. 그래서 스님께서는 중국 불교의 전통을 잇고 계신데 부처님 탄생하신 날을 어떻게 축하하는지 궁금합니다.
At our temple, we have the traditional Chinese way of celebrating, where we bathe the Buddha statues. So we recite the Shrangama mantra, and then we come up, line up against to the Buddha statue, and then bathe the Buddha, representing washing away the three poisons of greed, anger, and stupidity.
이번에 한국에 오셔서 서울과 제주도에서 우리 불자님들과 아주 특별히 그런 좋은 시간을 가지셨다고요.
Yes, I certainly did. We were invited to two temples, one here in Seoul, Varochana International Buddhist Meditation Center, where we organized a three-day chanchi. And then we went to Jeju Island to organize a similar thing. And we had a very good response. Even though the temples are smaller, but I'm very impressed with the hardworking spirit of the Korean Buddhists, both lay people and left-form people.
아주 인상적인 시간들을 보내셨다고 말씀해 주셨는데 사실 한국에서도 아름다운 곳으로 손꼽히는 곳이 제주거든요. 제주에서의 명상 수행은 상상만 해도 참 아름다웠을 것 같은데 어떠셨는지 궁금합니다.
Yes, it was a very, very good experience. When we went to Jeju Island, the weather is perfect. So even though the temple is small, the Buddha hall is very small, but because of the great weather, we're able to walk outside, and people get to enjoy the good air and the great temperature.
네. 우리 해남에 미황사도 방문하셨다고요. 어떠셨어요? 거기 괜찮으셨는지?
We had the honor to go visit with Gangang Sunim, and he's very, very kind. It was actually a very, very pleasant surprise for me to be able to meet with a very distinguished monk. He's very kind and compassionate. He spent time showing us around to his beautiful, beautiful temple, very old, very traditional. And then Gamgang Sinim sat down and have tea with us, and he talked to us extensively. And I was so impressed by his heart. I told Sunim that I was so impressed by the way he treated his lay disciples. That is, he built a beautiful, beautiful meditation building, 2 years old, for his lay followers only. overlooking the ocean. Now in California, we don't have that kind of great feng shui where the temple has its back to the mountains, and then in the front is the ocean. We don't have that kind of feng shui, so it's gorgeous. So I told Gamgang Sunim that he was spoiling his disciples, and I was really respect his spirit. I said that I admire his approach, and I learn a lot from him. In the spirit of as a monk, that I feel is very important for us as monks, as teachers, is to work hard to train the next generation. So he took very good care of his lay people. So I'm glad you brought it up. I hope that more Koreans would know about that and come and take advantage of Gamgang Sunim's kindness and compassion and his training.
네, 금강 스님께서 워낙 잘 안내를 해주셨고 또 해남의 그런 아름다운 풍경, 바다가 보이는 풍경이 굉장히 인상적이셨다 이런 이야기들 해주셨습니다. 미국 캘리포니아의 노산사라는 사찰에 머물면서 많은 제자들을 지도하고 계시다고 저희는 알고 있어요. 여쭤보고 싶은 이야기들이 많은데 우선은 노산사가 어떤 곳인지에 대한 소개를 먼저 해주셔야 될 것 같거든요. 어떤 곳인지 좀 알려주시죠.
Lu Mountain Temple is a very, very small temple that was given to us about 12 years ago. We are very fortunate because even though it's a small temple, the access is very difficult. But we are able to draw a lot of different kinds of students, really international. I have among my students a few Korean people, and I have Hispanics, I have Caucasians, so we have many, many different types of nationalities, as Chan is supposed to serve. Buddhism, what I learned from my master, I try to teach it at Lu Mountain Temple, is Buddhism that crosses national boundaries. So we teach meditation, we teach Pure Land, at the location, and I'm very lucky. Even though we're small, but we have a good number of left home people, disciples. They are the ones who've been studying Chan meditation from me for a long, long time. Some of my left home disciples have been learning from me for about 10 years or so, and they decided that just like me, Chan meditation changed my life. So they decided to devote their life to the propagation of Buddhism.
인종도 다르고 또 종교도 다르고 그럼 나이도 다르고 그런 어떤 배경이 다른 그런 제자들이 많이 있다고 그러시던데 되게 어떤 분들이세요?
I have students who are 1 year old to over 80 years old. We don't discriminate age, we don't discriminate races or educational background. We teach whoever wants to learn. Usually the kind of students who come to our temple are the ones who have some questions, some concerns. For example, some of my students came to me because they're stressed out. There's too much stress at work, or some of them have some health concerns, and so because of that, there's a drive for them to learn meditation, and they found that meditation helps reduce stress, improve their health, and that's why they stayed on. As they practice our Chan meditation, we stress improvement, so they stick around, because they like the more rigorous style of teaching, the more demanding approach to meditation, which produces much faster results. And that's why they stick around and they improve a lot faster.
이렇게 나이대도 다르고 인종들도 되게 다양하고 이런 분들을 쭉 이렇게 가르치시려고 하다 보면 그때그때마다 가르치는 방법도 달라져야 될 것 같다는 생각이 들어요. 어떠십니까?
Yes, certainly. My lineage is Weiyang lineage, which is transmitted to us by my late teacher, a Chinese monk by the name of Master Xinhua, who brought Mahayana from China to the United States in 1960s. And he's a Weiyang Chan patriarch. So he taught us, he trained me on the Weiyang style of training, which is can be described as markless patriarch Chan, meaning that we are not stuck on any type of methodology. For example, I understand in Seoul, in Korea, is very, very popular, and you specialize on Hwato. We also teach Hwato, but depending on the individual. For example, my master trained some of his disciples that I practiced with on the Hwato, and they accomplished the Hwato. They broke through the Hwato. For me, he taught me different type of Chan training. And so I follow his suit. So the way I teach Chan is to give my problem, a hard problem for my students to solve, whether it's sitting in full lotus, whether it's with a Hwato, whether it's breath counting, whether it's reciting Buddha's name. And as they work hard, they run into problems, and then they come back to me, I assist them and solve them problems. That's how our students improve a lot quicker.
노산소에서 행하고 있는 그 다양한 수행 프로그램이 있다고 하는데 어떤 프로그램인지 설명을 해주실 수 있겠습니까?
Like my late teacher, Master Xinhua, he's a patriarch of Mahayana. So he brought the entire Buddhism from China to the U.S. and transmitted it to us. So my master explained sutras. He taught precepts or Vinaya. He taught Chan. He taught Pure Land. He taught mantras. So now it's my turn. I'm a second generation of American Buddhism. So I also follow suit. At Lu Mountain Temple, we teach sutras. We lecture sutras every Sunday, 2 hours for the last 12 years. We teach meditation for the last 12 years. We started teaching tantras the last 5 years. And then I also train my students on precepts as well. So we are very well-rounded. We offer a lot of teachings and various Dharma assemblies that our small size of the temple can handle. So we have Pure Land Dharma assemblies, we have Chanchi, and so forth.
생각보다 꽤 많은 프로그램들이 운영이 되고 있고 사실 말씀을 하시는 게 오늘 또 영어로 방송이 진행이 되다 보니까 용어들도 굉장히 낯설거든요. 이 낯선 용어들을 좀 자세히 설명을 해주신다면 어떤 것들이 있을까요?
For example, one of our Dharma assembly is a Fochi. Fochi, Fo is Bull, Buddha, right? And so for 7 days, we recite the Buddha's name continuously. We start at 4 in the morning, and we're not done until 9, 10 o'clock at night. So the whole day is devoted to reciting Buddha's name. And then in the evening, in particular, we have a lecture. We have a Dharma talk. So every day is like that for 7 days in a row. So usually the Fochi is designed to help us prepare for the Chanchi. The Chanchi is a little bit more intensive. We start at 3 in the morning. Everyone wakes up at 2:30 in the morning. And then we wash our face, brush our teeth, and walk around for about half an hour. And we start our sit at 3. And then we sit for an hour. It's kind of unusual because a lot of meditation retreats, they sit shorter. We sit for an hour because it's a Chinese secret. We sit for an hour, it's more effective more effective sit. And then we stand up for about 20 minutes to walk around. So that we repeat that for about 14 times a day. And so the day begins at 3 a.m. and we don't end until midnight. So we do it like that every day for about the whole week. And so it's rather intensive. And the Chanqi is a very important Chinese tradition for our Chan training, because it is said in Chinese, the Chanqi is the place where the Buddhas are selected. So traditionally in China, the Chanqis are very well respected and very well regarded and supported. So we preserve that tradition from the Chinese Chan in America, where in our small temple, the people like to come to our Chanqi because a great number of them, I would say the overwhelming majority of them, progress within 7 days. They move from one level to the next. So that's why they like it a lot.
네, 이렇게 다양한 수행 방법에 대해서 저희가 들어볼 수 있었는데요. 여름과 겨울의 수행 기간 동안 스님께서 매일 저녁 하루에 2시간씩 걸쳐서 법문을 하고 질문도 받으신다, 이런 내용이 있었어요. 어떤 내용의 법문을 주로 들려주시는지 그게 궁금합니다.
It depends. It depends on who is at the practicing at the temple at the time. The problem I have is that I've been teaching meditation, training meditation for 12 years now. And so at every single instructional talk, the people of various degrees, from quite high to quite low. So it depends on who is more, has more questions at the time. In some cases, for example, there are beginners who have a lot of questions. Then we try to give the talks to appeal to them. The talks are designed for two reasons. The first one is to encourage people not to drop out, because our training is quite difficult. We sit in full lotus like this, where the legs are crossed for the entire day. And it's physically demanding. It's rather painful and very uncomfortable. And for the beginners, they cannot last very long. So so my part of my talk is to cajole them, to comfort them, to encourage them to continue, not to drop out, by making it interesting and convincing them that it's worthwhile for them to continue. On the other hand, among the listeners are also my longtime disciples. So I also need to provide with them more information and keep them interested as well. So my talk is, I would say, one of the most difficult things I do at the Lu Mountain Temple is to do instructional talks during these Chanqis, because every night you have to come up with something that to an audience which is virtually impossible to prepare in advance, because just like at Jeju Island or at Vairocana International Meditation Center, people, maybe there are 10 people who meditate, and when it comes in Dharma talk time, maybe like 30, 40 people show up. And now we have different groups of people of different interests. So our talks are usually very instructional and very practical, because our style of training is to help point out where people are stuck in their practice so that they can continue to improve.
네, 수행이라는 것이 개인의 그 역량에 따라서 차이가 있겠습니다만은 수행이 이렇게 습관처럼 자연스러워지고 어느 정도 경지에 오르고 그러려면 그 기간이 어느 정도나 걸릴까요?
That is an excellent question. Depends on your needs. For some people, when they come to us to learn meditation, and when they have a certain need, for example, when they want to learn how to handle stress in life, when people have real needs, then we have specific techniques to help train them in meditation to resolve those needs, to address those needs. So the bigger the needs, the quicker the results. So that once people achieve those benefits from practicing Chan, they are convinced to practice meditation. Now, so it varies on the individual. Some individuals might take about a few hours and they're convinced that they need meditation every day. So that's what we encourage people to do. We encourage our students to practice meditation an hour per day. And so that goes from low level to very advanced levels. So if your question pertains about not only becoming a part of life, the meditation practice as a daily part of life, we strongly advise that for all of our students from low level to high levels. And in fact, Chan meditation, the way that we train it is very, very fast results. For people to improve from low level beginners to quite advanced level could take a few years.
그런데 저는 또 한 가지 놀라웠던 것이 이번에 한국에서의 프로그램도 그렇고요. 그 미국에서의 프로그램도 참가비가 전액 무료다 이렇게 얘기를 들었어요. 이게 가능한가요?
It's very simple. It's free because I cannot charge for it. People, if I were to charge money, no one would take my classes. Seriously speaking, the reason we don't charge money for our programs is because we try to adhere to the traditional spirit of teaching from the patriarchs. The patriarchs in Buddhism devoted their lives to teaching meditation to help improve people's lives. And that is priceless. There's no way anyone has enough money to pay for it. So therefore, our patriarchs worked very hard, meditated, and accomplished the way. And once they become enlightened, they turn around and they share that and try to bring everyone else to the same level as they are. So traditionally, in Mahayana Buddhism from China, we've always taught everything for free. So in honor of my late teacher, Master Shenhua, who is a Chinese patriarch, I also want to do the same thing for the students. Now, how is it possible? It's possible. It's because in the U.S., the government is very, very generous. We don't have to pay taxes on our income. We don't have to pay real estate properties. And so therefore, we have a lot more money available to offer to our people. So primarily, our support doesn't come from fees, but because all those classes are for free. Our support comes from providing assistance to our students via the specific dharmas such as rebirth dharmas and medicine master Buddha dharmas. Now, rebirth dharma is to help people go to the Pure Land, and medicine master Buddha is to help people resolve their health concerns, their jobs concerns, and so forth. And that's a very, very nice Chinese system of providing support to the temples.
네, 노선사는 영화선사님의 법문을 듣고 수행을 하다가 출가를 해서 이렇게 스님이 되신 분들이 계시다고요?
That is correct. They did leave the home life listening to our Dharma talk because our teaching is very simple. We feel that the Buddha has a very, very beautiful training program called Living a Home Life. which is a very good way to accomplish a way, very effective way to accomplish a way. And some of our students, after listening to these Dharma talks, they became convinced of that, and they shaved their head and followed suit.
네, 그 영화선사께서는 그 경력이 굉장히 화려하세요. 시카고 대학에서 MBA를 하셨대요. MBA를 하셨고 미국의 기업에서 고위 경영진의 위치까지 오르셨던 분으로 알고 있거든요. 그런데 이렇게 남들은 다 못 가서 그 자리에 너무 가고 싶어하는 자리인데 그걸 내려놓고 어떻게 출가를 결심하게 되셨는지 그 계기가 궁금합니다.
I was fortunate. I came to the U.S. As a foreign student, and from Vietnam. At the time, my country was at war, and so I, with like many young Vietnamese men at the time, we wanted to go abroad and learn the skills, come back and help rebuild our country. And so I left Vietnam with that goal. And then after I came to the United States to go to college, Vietnam fell. So I had no more real reason to continue. But so I continued my education as per our Asian tradition. The Asian culture really stresses education. And therefore, I continue to study. Now my goal changed. And I wanted to learn about American businesses and climb up the corporate ladder. Yes, I have a little bit of success, not much success, not very big success, but a little bit of success in a corporate ladder and learn a lot from that. My goal back then was to become a president and CEO of a company, of companies. And as I climb up and I work directly under these captains of the industry, these important executives, and I have a chance to look at them and observe them closely. And unfortunately for me, I didn't like the kind of people that I aspire to be. So I changed my perspective about my career. And so I decided I didn't want to become like them. So luckily for me, at the time I started doing charity work. And then I encountered my master's, Master Shenhua's Buddha Dharma. And so I wanted at the time only to learn meditation from him. Now this is kind of embarrassing to admit to you that I only wanted to learn meditation for about 10 years, devoting my life to learning the best meditation possible from the best teacher possible. So I was prepared to shave my head, become a monk, just to learn meditation. And I was planning on returning to lay life after 10 years. And my master knew that, and he taught me anyway. And after 10 years, I liked meditation so much. And and meditation, Chan meditation, changed me from a very selfish person. I realized that I was very unhappy. And after understanding Chan, my life was turned around. And it changed my perspective on life. And that's how I became so grateful for my teacher's guidance that I decided to spend some time to repay his kindness by sharing what I learned from him to the next generation.
그 스승이신 선화 상인께 그러니까 굉장히 감화를 받으신 것 같은데 그 스승 선화 상인은 어떤 분이신가요?
I revere my teacher, Master Shenhua, who is the last known patriarch of the Orthodox Buddhism. That is a lineage that was transmitted from Shakyamuni Buddha all the way down to the present times. The Buddha first designated Mahakashyapa as the first patriarch, who then designated Ananda as the second patriarch, and so on, all the way down to Master Shenhua. And that lineage is very important. They are responsible for propagating Mahayana to this Saha world. And therefore, it means that the people who want to learn the proper Dharma, the Buddha Dharma, Mahayana, can go to these patriarchs and learn. And they know for sure they get the proper guidance and they learn the Buddha Dharma from these great patriarchs. Now, my master is a very special individual. He is personally is the greatest man that I have the chance to meet alive. And he sacrificed his life to save living beings. And he did so much for me that I'm very grateful to him.
네, 중국은 또 달마스님 이후로 선불교가 시작된 나라이기도 해요. 좀 전에 성화상인은 위양종의 법맥을 이은 분이다라고 스승님을 소개해 주셨는데 이번에는 위양종이란 무엇인지 그 위양종에 대한 소개를 좀 잠시 해주시죠.
Weiyang lineage is the first of the 5 Chan houses that was founded in China by Wei Shan master, who taught his disciple Yang Shan master. And later, Yang Shan master founded the Weiyang lineage of Chan meditation, the first one ever. And it turns out, in my humble opinion, is one of the most advanced, the most difficult form of training in Chinese Chan. And later, the other 4 houses are formed because the more great Chinese Chan masters appear in the world, and they brought their own style of training. But I feel the Weiyang training is rather more rigorous and more much broader in scope. For example, Weiyang lineage, unlike Song, uses many different forms and methods of practices. We are not stuck, for example, on Huatou alone. We practice, we teach such a wide variety of practices. Okay, now why is it called Weiyang? And this is a very good question because most scholars nowadays don't understand Weiyang lineage anymore because Weiyang has been discontinued for a long time already. Now, Weiyang lineage, I'm also new at this, so I'm only able to offer you my very limited knowledge. Weiyang lineage is called Weiyang because it is of the way of the training. If you look at the history of our founders, the Wei Shan master and Yang Shan masters and so forth, including my late teacher, Master Shenhua, the Weiyang lineage training is very tough because I noticed in how he trained me as well. This is a secret, and the first time I'm revealing it to you, because this is more for teachers than for students. That's why very few scholars and very students nowadays understand the Weiyang lineage. Now, since you kindly invited me here in your program, maybe I take the liberty of sharing you a little bit about our secret training for the teachers. Okay, the way we train our teachers is quite different. We typically give them a very difficult problem and then release them and let them survive on their own and to figure out how to fix the problem. And it's very difficult because you're thrown out into the world with no support, you're on your own basically. And so you have 2 choices. Either you give up, or if you don't give up, you hang in there, and if you manage to hang in there long enough and you figure out how to solve the problem, that makes your knowledge a lot deeper, a lot broader in fixing the problems.
선명성을 하는 데 있어서의 올바른 자세는 어떻습니까?
Good question. Chan meditation, nowadays, they practice like you. They teach people to sit in chairs, or they can sit into folding their legs in comfortable position. I feel from my tradition, from Chinese tradition, there's a secret in Chinese Chan training that is lost through the ages already. That is nowadays very rare for people to practice meditation and try to get into full lotus. This is a Chinese Chan secret, and I noticed here in Seoul, in Korea, a lot of Seoul practitioners teach full lotus. So again, that's why I told her that you have a lot of good basics already here in Korea. That the best position to practice meditation is full lotus. It's very worthwhile to train for that, and you get a lot more out of meditation practices that way. When you practice at home, and especially after a long day, and you're tired, and you're supposed to meditate, and that you can't, so you meditate and you fall asleep. That is natural. It's nothing to worry about. Part of the training is to turn it into a regular practice, and you naturally fall asleep. But the secret is, if as long as you cross your legs in full lotus, you still get a lot of benefits from your sitting and sleeping. But eventually, as you keep it up every day, you become stronger. You won't fall asleep as much anymore. You get over the sleepiness problem.
그런데 요즘은 보니까요, 수행을 하려고 몇 주에서 몇 달, 길게는 몇 년까지 휴가를 내서 또 미얀마나 태국으로 이렇게 수행을 가시는 분들이 계시거든요. 그런데 아마 이제 오늘 이 방송 보시고 나면 미국 노산사로 수행을 배우러 가시는 분들이 많이 늘어나지 않을까 하는 생각이 듭니다. 실제로 이렇게 오시는 분들이 참 많으시죠?
Yes, it turns out that we have quite a few Koreans coming to Lu Mountain Temple to practice with us. In fact, when I come back here from this trip, we have some senior Korean monks coming to do our summer chanchi with us in June. And so, yes, we're very fortunate that some Korean monks and nuns are coming to train with us. In fact, last winter chanchi, we have a Korean nun coming to practice with us for 8 weeks, and my students were so impressed with Venerable Sangwook. They said, Master, and she gets up and starts at 3 in the morning, and she stays with her until midnight for the whole chanchi, and she's the best nun we ever had at Lu Mountain Temple. So Korean monks and nuns are tough. So we're going to have our hands full with the Korean visitors.
앞으로 세계의 불자들을 위해서 더 많은 일을 해나가실 텐데 어떤 계획이 있으신지요?
It's a great question that's asked to the wrong monk. I am simply a small-time monk. I have very small design, very small aspirations. My original purpose was to repay my teacher's kindness, Master Shenhua, who trained me in a Weiyang lineage. And his Chan training changed my life. And I'm so grateful I decided to spend a good number of years of my remaining life to share that knowledge for the next generation, to repay his kindness. So my goals in life are very simple. It's not about changing the world or trying to save living beings, only to share what I know to people who want to learn. Now my fortune has been that I've been able to meet with many good Korean monks and nuns. And so my interest now is evolving to the point where I'd like to share more and more of that with the monks and nuns here in your great country.
오늘 이렇게 말은 통하지 않았지만 사실 이 스님의 표정을 보면서 참 편안하다 이런 느낌을 저는 받았거든요. 끝으로 오늘 이렇게 귀한 시간 내주셨으니까 마지막으로 부처님 오신 날을 맞이해서 우리 불자 여러분들께 또 시청자 여러분들께 마지막으로 한 말씀 부탁드립니다.
Since it's a Buddha's birthday, we should be mindful of why Buddha came to this world. He came to this world in order to help us get out of this wheel of reincarnation. It's imperative we need to get out of this endless cycles of reincarnation. And you get out by getting rid of your greed, anger, and stupidity. And in order to do that, the best way we know of as professional cultivators, monks and nuns, is to practice Chan, to cultivate and practice soul, by all means.
고맙습니다.
네, 오늘 말씀 고맙습니다.
Thank you very much.
네, 오늘은 부처님 오신 날 맞이해서 미국 노산사의 영화선사님과 함께했습니다.
네, 우리와 닮은 듯 조금은 다른 느낌의 불교를 만난 그런 느낌이 들기도 하고요. 부처님의 가르침을 따라서 열심히 수행하고 계신 분들이 이렇게 세계 곳곳에 계시다고 생각을 하니까 든든해지기도 하고요. 부처님 오신 날이 더 의미 있게 와닿지 않나 하는 생각도 듭니다.
네, 오늘 이렇게 함께해 주신 여러분 감사합니다. 다음 주 이 시간도 기다려 주십시오.
여러분
행복하세요.
행복하세요.